Maya woke up early as she always did. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the sky with soft shades of pink and orange. She liked the quiet mornings before the city came alive. She made herself a simple breakfast and then checked the cafe one more time before leaving. Today was going to be busy. She could feel it. The small cafe had a good reputation, and people loved coming here. It was her way of connecting with life outside the walls of the old building she owned. But very few people knew she owned the building, and she liked it that way. When she arrived at the cafe, she saw the usual staff getting ready. The smell of fresh coffee and baked bread filled the air. Maya smiled at the familiar sights and sounds. She greeted the manager and the other staff, helping wherever she could. She enjoyed serving people, not because she needed to, but because she liked seeing happiness on their faces. Today, there was something different in the air, a mix of excitement and tension. Perhaps it was because of the weekend rush. The morning went on smoothly. Maya moved around the cafe with ease, balancing trays and taking orders. She always made sure that every customer felt welcome. She noticed an elderly couple sitting by the window, holding hands and smiling as they sipped their tea. A group of students laughed at a corner table, sharing stories and snacks. Maya liked these small moments the most. They reminded her of life's simple joys, far from the chaos of money and power that she sometimes saw in the world around mid-morning. The bell above the cafe door jingled, and Maya looked up. A tall man entered, dressed in a sharp suit, with a woman following him. The woman had an air of confidence and elegance, dressed in the latest fashion. Maya felt a small sense of curiosity. She could tell immediately that this was not an ordinary visit. The way people glanced at them showed respect, or perhaps fear. The man gave a small nod to Maya and took a seat with the woman. Maya went over to take their order. She greeted them politely, keeping her calm and friendly tone. The woman, however, seemed impatient. She tapped her fingers on the table and looked around as if nothing in the cafe was good enough for her. Maya wrote down the order carefully, making sure she did not miss anything. She returned to the kitchen and prepared the drinks and food, making sure everything was perfect. She knew that some people came here not just for coffee, but for the peaceful atmosphere and the way staff treated them. She wanted to maintain that feeling as she carried the tray back to their table. The woman looked at her with an expression of annoyance. She whispered something to the man, who smiled politely but did not speak. Maya placed the tray on the table carefully, making sure nothing spilled. She told them, "Your order is ready. I hope you enjoy it." The woman, still frowning, took the cup and made a small comment about the foam on the coffee. Maya nodded politely, saying nothing. She had learned long ago that patience was more powerful than words. After that, Maya moved on to other tables, making sure everyone else was comfortable. She noticed how some customers stared at the new couple. It was not unusual. People were curious about strangers who carried themselves differently. Maya ignored it and focused on her work. She liked observing people quietly. It helped her understand human nature better. Sometimes, she even learned small lessons about kindness and humility just by listening to conversations without being noticed during the afternoon. A small group of children came in, laughing and running around. Maya smiled as she watched them. She served them drinks and snacks, making sure they were safe. Their laughter was contagious, and even the serious-looking manager could not help but smile. Maya liked these moments. They reminded her that life was more than appearances and wealth. It was about small joys, shared moments, and simple happiness. The cafe continued to get busier as the day went on. Maya moved like a quiet shadow among the tables, taking orders, refilling drinks, and clearing empty plates. She noticed the couple from the morning still sitting at their table. The woman seemed more frustrated now, tapping on her phone and looking around impatiently. Maya felt a small sense of worry. She hoped the situation would not escalate, but she remained calm. She had faced difficult people before and always handled it with patience. As the afternoon moved closer to evening, Maya took a short break. She stepped outside and looked at the building. It was an old structure with beautiful architecture, something that many people overlooked. Maya had inherited it from her grandfather, a kind man who had always believed in hard work and humility. She loved the building, not for its value, but for the memories it held and the people who worked inside. Most tenants did not know she was the owner, and that was how she wanted it. She liked seeing people for who they were, not for how much money they had. When she returned inside, she noticed the woman from the morning standing up abruptly. She seemed upset about something, and Maya instinctively walked toward the table. The woman waved her over, and without warning, grabbed Maya's apron. Maya froze for a moment. The apron tore slightly, but she did not react angrily. She took a deep breath and said softly, "There is no need for this." The woman laughed dismissively, clearly thinking she had the upper hand. Maya felt a mixture of emotions. She could have reacted harshly, told the woman off, or even embarrassed her. But she did not. Instead, she stayed calm and composed. She knew that true strength did not come from shouting or reacting violently. It came from keeping control and handling the situation wisely. She straightened the apron as best as she could and returned to her work, all while keeping her dignity intact. Customers who witnessed the scene looked shocked. Some whispered to each other. Some even recorded the moment. Maya ignored the whispers. She focused on serving other tables and keeping the cafe atmosphere calm. She knew that reacting in anger would only make the situation worse. She had learned from experience that patience, calmness, and quiet confidence often made people reflect on their actions more than any argument could. The man in the suit, who had been quiet all this time, finally spoke. He apologized politely to Maya for his girlfriend's behavior. Maya nodded and accepted the apology without making a big deal. She had seen many situations like this before, and she knew how to handle people who were difficult. She wanted to resolve conflicts without escalating them, especially in her cafe, where people came to feel safe and welcomed. As the evening approached, the cafe slowly started to empty. Maya felt a sense of relief. She had managed the day well, despite the tension. She moved around, cleaning tables and organizing chairs, making sure everything was in order. The staff thanked her for her patience and calmness. Maya smiled, telling them it was nothing. She felt proud, not because of recognition, but because she had handled a difficult situation without losing her composure. Once the cafe closed, Maya sat in a corner, sipping her own cup of coffee. She reflected on the day. Life had a way of testing people in unexpected ways. The incident with the woman reminded her that appearances could be deceiving and that power did not always come from money or status. True strength came from kindness, patience, and wisdom. She felt grateful for the lessons she learned each day, even in small moments. Before leaving, Maya locked the doors and looked at the building once more. She thought about how much she loved it, not just for what it was, but for the life it contained. The cafe, the small shops, the people, all of it made the building more than just a structure. It was alive, and she was a part of it, quietly, humbly, and with care. As she walked home, Maya felt a sense of calm satisfaction. The day had been challenging, but she had managed it with grace. She knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges, new people, and new lessons. And she was ready for all of them, knowing that patience, humility, and quiet strength would always guide her. The city lights reflected on the streets as she walked, and Maya smiled. She knew that life, with all its unpredictability, was beautiful, and she was happy to be part of it. The next morning, Maya woke up feeling calm and ready for the day. She had thought a lot about the incident yesterday. The woman with the ripped apron had left a small mark on her patience, but Maya reminded herself that she could not let one person disturb the peace she had worked hard to create. She made herself breakfast quietly, enjoying the simple flavors and the morning sun streaming through her window. The world outside was waking up slowly, and Maya felt a sense of quiet anticipation for what the day might bring. Arriving at the cafe, she noticed the staff were already busy, preparing for another busy day. The manager greeted her with a smile, his eyes showing respect and concern after yesterday's events. Maya thanked him and started helping with the preparations. She arranged chairs, checked the tables, and ensured the kitchen had everything it needed. Even though she owned the building, she liked being involved in every small detail. To her, it was a way to stay grounded and connected to life. The morning passed quickly. Regular customers arrived, greeting Maya warmly. She liked seeing familiar faces, people who treated her with respect and kindness. Each smile and each thank you made her feel that her small effort mattered. Then, just as she was clearing some tables, she noticed the tall man from yesterday entering the cafe again. This time, he was alone. Maya's curiosity grew, but she remained calm. She greeted him politely and asked if he wanted his usual seat. He nodded and sat down quietly, glancing around as if noticing details he had missed the day before. As Maya approached his table to take his order, he spoke softly. "I wanted to apologize for yesterday. I should have said something earlier." Maya nodded, smiling faintly. She appreciated the gesture. Politeness and sincerity mattered more to her than grand apologies or gestures. She took his order carefully and returned to the kitchen to prepare it. Today, she felt the cafe would have a peaceful rhythm, but deep down, she could sense something different was about to happen. Around mid-morning, the bell above the door jingled again. Maya looked up and immediately noticed the stylish woman entering. She looked angry and hurried, scanning the room for the man she had come with. Maya felt a small tension in the air. She had learned that this woman was unpredictable and could cause trouble if not approached carefully. Maya decided to stay calm and composed, moving slowly toward the table with her order, ready to handle the situation without confrontation. The woman approached the man, speaking sharply. Her voice carried a mixture of frustration and arrogance. Maya served them quietly, making sure everything was placed correctly. The woman complained about the foam on her coffee and the way the sunlight fell on the table. Maya listened, nodding politely, showing no sign of irritation. She had discovered that people often calmed down when treated with respect, even when they acted aggressively. During this interaction, Maya noticed the reactions of other customers. Some were whispering, others were quietly observing. She realized that her calmness affected the entire atmosphere of the cafe. People began to relax, feeling that the tension might not escalate further. Maya understood human nature well. She knew that fear or anger often invited more chaos, but patience and quiet strength could guide people toward better behavior. The woman continued to make rude remarks, clearly trying to provoke a reaction. Maya stayed silent, gently smiling, and moved to other tables, ensuring the cafe continued running smoothly. She served coffee to a small group of artists, chatting with them about their work, laughing softly at their jokes. She took special care of a family with a small child, making sure they felt comfortable and welcomed. Through it all, she maintained the balance between handling the difficult guests and keeping the cafe peaceful for everyone else. Around noon, Maya took a short break in the back room. She poured herself a glass of water and leaned against the counter, thinking about how quickly lives could change. A simple act of kindness could make someone's day, while a careless remark could hurt others deeply. She reflected on the incident with the stylish woman and wondered why some people felt powerful by belittling others. Maya had grown up knowing that true strength was shown through humility and compassion, not through arrogance or insults. Returning to the cafe, she noticed the man quietly watching the woman argue about a minor issue with the manager. Maya decided to intervene subtly. She approached them with calmness in her voice, offering to explain the cafe's policies politely. The woman looked at her with surprise. She did not expect someone so gentle to speak firmly. Maya explained everything without raising her voice, showing respect while also asserting boundaries. The woman seemed taken aback, her confidence wavering slightly as the afternoon continued. Maya noticed that the atmosphere began to shift. The woman's sharp words softened, though she still seemed uneasy. The man, sensing this, tried to calm her further. Maya continued her work, moving among tables, clearing dishes, serving drinks, and checking on customers. Every small action she took was meant to restore harmony and maintain the dignity of the cafe. She had learned that being calm and steady often made people reflect on their behavior without being told off. Later, a few other employees from nearby shops came in to enjoy a break. They greeted Maya warmly, unaware of her ownership of the building. She served them quietly, chatting about small daily matters, showing that she valued every individual equally. Her attention to detail and care for everyone in the cafe earned their respect without her having to claim it openly. Maya liked to see how kindness and understanding could create trust naturally. As the day wore on, the woman finally realized that her behavior was drawing unwanted attention. Maya had handled every situation without anger, maintaining calm and dignity. This affected the woman deeply, though she did not express it openly. The man quietly thanked Maya, apologizing again for the situation. Maya smiled and said it was all right, showing that patience and understanding could resolve even the most difficult circumstances. Towards evening, Maya noticed a small group of teenagers entering the cafe. They were loud and playful, excited about something. Maya served them their drinks and snacks, laughing quietly at their enthusiasm. Their energy reminded her that life was full of surprises and joy, no matter how tense or difficult earlier moments had been. She moved gracefully among tables, ensuring everyone was comfortable and the cafe remained welcoming for all. The stylish woman, now quieter and more subdued, left the cafe with her companion. Maya watched them go, reflecting on how people could change when treated with respect and firmness together. She cleaned the tables thoroughly, arranging chairs and making sure the cafe was ready for the next day. Her thoughts wandered to the building itself, to the people who worked inside it, and the lessons she had learned through small interactions every day. She felt content knowing that even one difficult encounter could turn into a moment of understanding and learning. After the cafe closed, Maya sat in the quiet corner again, sipping her coffee. She reflected on the day's events, thinking about patience, dignity, and the importance of handling life's challenges calmly. She knew that each day brought new experiences and lessons. Some days were peaceful, some difficult, but each taught her something valuable. The calm feeling of evening surrounded her, and she felt ready for whatever the future might hold. Maya locked the doors and looked at the building one more time. The sunlight faded, leaving a warm glow on the walls. She thought about the people inside the building, each living their lives, unaware of the owner who quietly ensured their comfort. She liked it that way. She believed that people should be respected for who they were, not judged by appearances or status. Maya knew that small acts of kindness could leave a lasting impression, more powerful than money or fame got as she walked home. The city lights reflected on the streets, creating patterns that danced in the quiet night. Maya smiled, feeling that life was full of simple yet meaningful moments. She understood that true influence came not from wealth or power, but from the ability to treat others with respect, patience, and understanding. The day had been long and sometimes tense, but it had also been filled with lessons and small joys. Maya felt grateful and content, ready to face tomorrow with the same calm strength that had guided her today. The following morning, Maya woke up with a quiet sense of anticipation. She had learned from yesterday that every encounter in life carried lessons. As she sipped her tea, she thought about how patience and calm could change people without harsh words. The city outside her window was lively, and she felt ready for whatever the day might bring. Today, she knew, would be different, though she did not yet realize how much. Arriving at the cafe, Maya noticed the staff were already preparing for the morning rush. She helped arrange tables and chairs, checked the kitchen, and made sure everything was ready. The smell of fresh bread and coffee filled the air, creating a warm, welcoming atmosphere. Customers slowly started arriving, greeting Maya warmly. She enjoyed these moments, seeing familiar faces and small interactions that made the cafe feel alive. Her presence was calm but noticeable, the kind of presence that reassured people. Just as she was serving a regular customer, the bell above the door jingled. Maya looked up and immediately recognized the tall man and the stylish woman from the previous day. The man entered quietly, but the woman stormed in, her expression sharp and impatient. Maya felt a small tension in the cafe. She had learned to stay calm, but she could sense that this visit would test her patience further. The couple approached a table in the corner. Maya brought their drinks and food, making sure everything was perfect. The man thanked her politely, but the woman began inspecting every detail, frowning and muttering complaints. Maya listened quietly, nodding respectfully. She did not interrupt or argue. She knew that reacting with anger would only escalate the situation. Instead, she focused on maintaining calm and dignity, letting her quiet confidence speak louder than words. After a few minutes, the woman's frustration grew. She slammed her hand on the table, making the dishes rattle. Maya stayed composed, reminding herself that this was just a test of her patience. She approached the table, asking softly if there was anything she could do to improve their experience. The woman looked at her with a mix of surprise and disdain, clearly not used to being addressed calmly when she was upset. Maya smiled faintly and stepped back, allowing the woman to vent without giving in to rudeness. Other customers began noticing the tension. Some whispered to each other, while others watched silently. Maya moved around the cafe, serving other tables, cleaning dishes, and refilling drinks. She paid special attention to small details, ensuring that the atmosphere remained welcoming. Each gentle action reminded people that kindness and patience were powerful, even in the face of arrogance. As the morning moved into afternoon, the woman's behavior became more aggressive. She picked at minor issues, complaining about the foam on her coffee and the way the sunlight hit her table. Maya remained calm, serving quietly and maintaining a friendly smile. She had learned that difficult people often reflected their own insecurities and frustrations, and responding with respect could sometimes change their attitude. Then, without warning, the woman reached across the table and grabbed Maya's apron. The fabric tore slightly in her grip. Maya froze for a brief moment, but did not react angrily. She took a deep breath and said softly, "There is no need for this." The woman laughed dismissively, thinking she had power in the situation. Customers gasped, some whispering to each other, and a few recorded the moment with their phones. Maya remained composed, her calmness contrasting sharply with the woman's aggressive behavior. The man, looking embarrassed, tried to calm the woman. "Please, let's not make a scene," he said quietly. The woman ignored him, continuing to mock Maya. Maya, however, stood still, her demeanor calm and dignified. She did not shout, argue, or show fear. Her quiet strength seemed to create a pause in the room. Even some of the woman's friends outside the cafe would later say that they had never seen anyone stay so composed under pressure. straightened the apron as best as she could, and continued her work. She moved to another table, serving drinks and chatting with customers to keep the environment peaceful. She paid attention to the smallest details, making sure children were safe, clearing empty plates, and ensuring the regulars felt comfortable. Her actions quietly reminded everyone that respect and patience mattered more than anger or shouting. The manager of the cafe, sensing the growing tension, stepped in to offer support. He whispered to Maya that he could handle the situation and ban the woman if necessary. Maya shook her head softly. She wanted to handle it herself, showing that strength did not always come from authority. She believed that calm confidence and clear boundaries could teach a lesson far better than anger or punishment. As the woman continued to complain, Maya noticed that the atmosphere of the cafe had shifted. Other customers were beginning to feel uncomfortable with the woman's behavior. Maya realized that the situation could escalate further if not addressed properly. She decided it was time to take careful action. She walked to the couple's table, her steps measured, her voice calm yet firm. "Excuse me," Maya said softly. "I would like to speak with you both for a moment." Outside, the woman looked at her, surprised that Maya was addressing her directly. The man nodded, signaling agreement. Maya led them outside the cafe, the customers watching curiously from the windows. Outside, the sun illuminated the building, revealing its classic architecture. Maya took a deep breath and prepared to reveal the truth that would change the dynamics completely. Standing confidently, Maya began, "I am not just a waitress here. I am Maya Malik, the owner of this building and the landlord for all the businesses inside." She paused, letting the words sink in. The woman's eyes widened in shock, her arrogant expression faltering. The man looked stunned, realizing the truth. Maya continued calmly, "Every business here, including this cafe, operates with my approval. I oversee the property and its tenants, though most people do not know it. I choose to remain discreet so I can see people for who they truly are." The woman's jaw dropped. She stammered, unable to find words. Maya looked at her steadily, showing no anger, only quiet authority. "Your behavior inside the cafe yesterday and today was unacceptable. Grabbing someone's apron and belittling staff is not tolerated in this building. It is important to treat everyone with respect, no matter who they are." Maya's words were calm, but carried the weight of authority. The woman tried to speak, but Maya continued, her voice firm yet composed. "You are banned from all businesses in this building until further notice. Respect is not optional here." The man tried to apologize for his companion's behavior, and Maya acknowledged it with a small nod. She remained calm, showing that she valued politeness and sincerity. The woman, realizing the severity of the situation, left without further argument, her previous confidence shattered. The man followed quietly, looking embarrassed and thoughtful. Maya returned to the cafe, her steps steady, feeling a sense of calm satisfaction. Back inside, the customers who had witnessed the incident whispered among themselves, praising Maya's composure and strength. The staff approached her quietly, expressing admiration for the way she had handled the difficult situation. Maya smiled softly, thanking them but emphasizing that patience and respect were the true lessons. She had turned a challenging encounter into an opportunity to show dignity, kindness, and quiet power. As the afternoon passed, Maya continued her work, serving drinks, clearing tables, and interacting with customers. She paid special attention to maintaining a warm and welcoming atmosphere, ensuring that everyone felt safe and valued. The cafe felt lighter, the tension from earlier replaced by a calm energy. Maya noticed how small acts of kindness and composed authority could transform a space and influence people positively. The rest of the day went smoothly. Maya observed the regular customers, some of whom had witnessed the incident, and smiled at them. She understood that true influence came not from money or status, but from how one treated others. The staff and customers were reminded that respect and patience mattered more than arrogance or intimidation. Maya felt content, knowing that she had maintained the dignity of her cafe and upheld her principles. As the cafe closed, Maya sat quietly in a corner, reflecting on the events of the day. She thought about how quickly a situation could escalate and how powerful calmness and patience were in resolving conflict. She realized that life often tested people in unexpected ways, and how one reacted defined not just the moment, but the impression left on others. She felt grateful for the lessons learned and proud of her ability to handle challenges gracefully. Locking the doors and stepping outside, Maya looked at the building once more. The sun was setting, casting long shadows and a warm glow across the street. She thought about the people who worked and lived inside, most unaware of her ownership. She felt a quiet satisfaction, knowing that she had preserved respect and harmony through patience and understanding. Life, with all its challenges, had once again shown her the importance of dignity, kindness, and quiet strength. Maya walked home slowly, the evening breeze brushing against her, feeling calm and ready for whatever tomorrow would bring. The next morning, Maya woke up feeling calm, but alert. She had thought a lot about the events of the previous day. The incident with the stylish woman had left a small mark on her patience, but it had also shown her the importance of remaining calm and dignified in all situations. As she sipped her tea, she felt a quiet sense of determination. Today, she wanted to ensure that no tension in her cafe escalated again, and she would handle every challenge with care and patience. Arriving at the cafe, Maya noticed the staff preparing for the morning rush. She moved quietly among them, checking tables, arranging chairs, and ensuring that the kitchen had everything ready. The aroma of fresh coffee and baked goods filled the air, creating a welcoming atmosphere. Customers began to arrive, greeting Maya warmly. She smiled at each one, appreciating the small connections she shared with them. She liked being part of the rhythm of the cafe, helping people feel comfortable and valued. Around mid-morning, the familiar bell jingled as the tall man and the stylish woman entered once again. Maya's calm instincts told her that this visit would require careful handling. The man looked apologetic, while the woman appeared annoyed and impatient. Maya greeted them politely, writing down their order without any sign of tension. She moved to the kitchen, preparing the drinks and food carefully. Each action she took was deliberate, maintaining calm and balance despite the potential for conflict. When she brought the tray to their table, the woman immediately began pointing out minor imperfections, her tone sharp and critical. Maya remained composed, placing the tray down gently and speaking softly. She listened carefully to the complaints, without showing irritation or defensiveness. The man tried to calm his companion, but she continued to speak loudly, drawing the attention of other customers. Maya's calm presence seemed to create a subtle pause in the atmosphere, as though her quiet confidence reminded everyone of the power of patience. The woman's complaints grew more intense, and Maya could see that the situation might escalate further. She decided it was time to address the matter clearly, but without anger. She approached the table and spoke in a calm, steady voice, suggesting that they step outside for a private conversation. The woman looked surprised at being addressed directly and agreed reluctantly, while the man followed quietly. Maya led them outside, the customers watching with curiosity through the windows. The sunlight illuminated the building, casting a warm glow on its walls. Maya took a deep breath, ready to reveal the truth. Standing firmly, Maya began, "I want to make something clear. I am not just a waitress here. I am Maya Malik, the owner of this building and the landlord of all the businesses inside." She paused, letting the words sink in. The woman's eyes widened, her arrogance fading into shock. The man looked stunned, realizing the significance of what Maya had said. She continued calmly, "Every business here operates with my approval. I choose to remain discreet because I want to see people for who they truly are, not for appearances or status." The woman's expression changed from shock to disbelief. She tried to speak, but Maya continued in a firm yet gentle tone. "Your behavior yesterday and today was unacceptable. Grabbing my apron and belittling the staff is not tolerated here. Respect is not optional. Everyone in this building, from staff to customers, deserves to be treated with dignity." Maya's calm authority left little room for argument. She watched as the woman's confidence faltered, realizing that her arrogance could not override respect and integrity. The man spoke softly, apologizing for the woman's behavior. Maya nodded, acknowledging his sincerity. She knew that polite apologies were meaningful when delivered with genuine humility. The woman, seeing the seriousness of the situation, tried to argue but found no ground to stand on. Maya's calm composure and clear boundaries had shifted the power of the interaction entirely. She continued, "Until further notice, you are banned from all businesses in this building. This is necessary to maintain a safe and respectful environment for everyone." The woman's face turned pale, and she finally realized the consequences of her actions. She left the cafe with the man, both silent and subdued. Maya watched them go, feeling a sense of calm satisfaction. The tension that had been building over days finally dissipated, leaving the cafe with a renewed sense of peace. Customers who had witnessed the exchange whispered among themselves, praising Maya's patience and dignity. The staff, too, expressed admiration for how she had handled the situation, grateful for her steady guidance. Returning inside, Maya resumed her work quietly. She moved among the tables, serving drinks, clearing plates, and checking on customers. She focused on creating a welcoming atmosphere, ensuring that everyone felt comfortable and valued. The cafe hummed with life, laughter, and gentle conversation, the earlier tension now replaced by calm energy. Maya knew that her actions had not only resolved a difficult situation, but also taught an important lesson in respect and patience. Throughout the afternoon, Maya observed how the customers responded to the restored harmony. Families with children, friends sharing meals, and regular visitors all seemed more relaxed. Maya interacted with them gently, asking about their day and sharing small moments of conversation. She understood that her presence and demeanor had a profound impact, demonstrating that true authority and influence came not from anger or intimidation, but from quiet strength and integrity. Later, Maya took a brief moment in the back room, reflecting on the events of the day. She considered the lessons learned from the woman's behavior and the importance of handling difficult situations with care. She knew that life would continue to present challenges, but she felt confident that patience, kindness, and clear boundaries could resolve even the most tense encounters. The cafe, with its simple charm and welcoming atmosphere, had become a place of learning and reflection for both staff and customers. As the day progressed, Maya noticed small acts of kindness among the people around her. The staff supported each other more attentively. Customers treated one another politely, and even the atmosphere seemed lighter. Maya felt a quiet pride, knowing that she had guided this change not through force, but through calm composure and example. Her approach showed that respect and patience could create harmony. Even in the face of arrogance or provocation. Towards evening, the cafe slowly emptied, leaving Maya a sense of peace. She moved quietly among the tables, tidying up and preparing for the next day. The aroma of coffee and fresh bread lingered, creating a comforting environment. Maya appreciated these moments, where she could reflect on the day's events and find satisfaction in how she had handled challenges with dignity. After closing, Maya sat in her favorite corner, sipping her own coffee and watching the sun set outside. She thought about the lessons learned and the importance of treating everyone with respect, regardless of their behavior. The incident with the stylish woman had reinforced her belief that true strength lay in patience, understanding, and calm authority. Maya felt grateful for the opportunity to demonstrate these values and to maintain the integrity of her cafe. Locking the doors, Maya stepped outside and looked at the building. Its classic architecture reflected the warm glow of the evening sun. She thought about the people who lived and worked inside, most unaware of her ownership. She felt a quiet satisfaction, knowing that she had maintained respect and harmony, guiding others through example rather than force. Life, with its challenges and unexpected tests, had once again shown her the power of dignity, patience, and quiet strength. Maya walked home slowly, the evening breeze brushing against her face, feeling calm and ready for whatever the next day would bring. The following morning, Maya woke up feeling calm and reflective. The events of the past few days had taught her many lessons about patience, respect, and quiet strength. As she prepared for the day, she thought about how the cafe had become more than a place to serve coffee. It was a space where people learned small but important lessons about human behavior and kindness. She made herself a cup of tea and enjoyed the warm sunlight streaming through her window, feeling grateful for the simple moments that life offered. Arriving at the cafe, Maya noticed the staff were already preparing for another busy day. She moved quietly among them, checking tables, organizing chairs, and ensuring the kitchen had everything ready. The smell of fresh coffee and baked goods filled the air, welcoming the early customers. Maya greeted each person with a warm smile, enjoying the connections that came from small acts of kindness. Even though she was the owner, she preferred to be involved in every detail, ensuring that the cafe remained a place where everyone felt respected and valued. That the morning passed smoothly. Regular customers arrived, greeting Maya warmly, and she responded with gentle words and attention to their needs. She enjoyed seeing the joy and satisfaction on their faces as they drank their coffee or enjoyed their meals. Today, there was a calm energy in the cafe, free from tension. The events with the stylish woman had left a mark on the people who witnessed it, and they seemed to appreciate the peace and harmony that Maya created. Her quiet presence had a profound effect on everyone around her. Around mid-morning, the bell above the door jingled, and a few new customers entered. Maya welcomed them politely and showed them to their seats. She took their orders carefully, making sure each detail was attended to. The cafe hummed with life, laughter, and conversation. Maya moved among the tables, clearing dishes, refilling drinks, and chatting with customers in a gentle, friendly manner. She understood that these small interactions were as important as the food and drinks she served out as the day went on. Maya observed how the atmosphere in the cafe had shifted. People were more considerate of one another, smiling and interacting kindly. Even the staff seemed more connected, working together smoothly and supporting each other in small ways. Maya felt a quiet pride, knowing that her calm authority and patient handling of difficult situations had influenced the environment positively. She believed that respect and kindness could transform spaces and relationships, creating harmony where there had once been tension. Later in the afternoon, the manager approached Maya quietly. He smiled and said, "Everyone is noticing the difference. The cafe feels lighter, happier. Your way of handling things has changed how people behave." Maya nodded softly, appreciating the observation. She knew that maintaining patience and dignity was often more powerful than any display of authority. Her goal was not to control people through fear or force, but to guide them with quiet strength and understanding. As the afternoon continued, a small group of children came into the cafe with their parents. Maya welcomed them warmly, making sure they felt comfortable and safe. She served drinks and snacks carefully, engaging them in gentle conversation. Their laughter and excitement brought a joyful energy to the cafe, reminding everyone present that life was full of small, meaningful moments. Maya smiled, feeling that these simple joys were the essence of what made her cafe special. Towards evening, the cafe began to empty gradually, leaving a peaceful ambiance. Maya moved among the remaining customers, checking that they were satisfied and comfortable. She noticed a few people whispering about the previous events with the stylish woman and the billionaire. Maya realized that her actions had left a lasting impression. People were not only respecting her now, but they were also reflecting on their own behavior and the way they treated others. The cafe had become more than a place to eat or drink. It was a space where lessons about dignity, patience, and respect were quietly taught. The man who had accompanied the stylish woman visited briefly, coming to apologize once again. Maya accepted his apology with a gentle smile, showing that sincerity mattered. The woman who had caused so much tension was no longer part of the story inside the cafe. Her departure and the consequences she faced had sent a clear message. Respect was essential, and arrogance or rudeness would not be tolerated. Maya felt satisfaction knowing that the situation had been resolved without harsh words, anger, or public humiliation. The lessons learned were far more meaningful this way. After closing time, Maya took a moment to sit quietly in her favorite corner of the cafe. She reflected on the events of the week and the lessons she had learned. Patience, kindness, and calm authority had proven to be powerful tools in handling difficult situations. She thought about the people she had interacted with and how small gestures of respect could create lasting impact. Maya felt grateful for the opportunity to demonstrate these values, knowing that her actions would leave a positive influence on those around her. Maya also thought about the future of the cafe and the building she owned. She realized that her role as a leader was not just about managing property or staff, but about creating a space where people felt safe, respected, and valued. She wanted to continue fostering an environment where kindness and understanding were prioritized over arrogance and entitlement. Her experience with the stylish woman had reinforced her belief that patience and dignity could guide even the most challenging situations toward positive outcomes. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the streets, Maya locked the cafe doors and looked at the building. Its walls, familiar and comforting, reflected the day's light, reminding her of the memories and lessons contained within. She walked home slowly, the evening breeze brushing her face, feeling content and calm. Life had a way of testing people, but it also offered opportunities for growth and understanding. Maya felt ready for whatever challenges tomorrow might bring, confident that patience, respect, and quiet strength would always guide her. Walking through the quiet streets, Maya reflected on how much the world had to offer in small, meaningful interactions. Every person she met, every action she took, had the potential to influence others positively. She understood that true leadership and strength were not about power or wealth, but about the ability to inspire respect, dignity, and kindness through one's own behavior. The lessons from the cafe, the staff, the customers, and even the difficult visitors would stay with her forever. Reaching home, Maya paused for a moment to enjoy the peaceful night sky. The stars shone brightly, a reminder that life's challenges were often small in the grand scheme of things. She felt grateful for her experiences and proud of how she had handled the past week. Maya knew that maintaining calm, patience, and dignity required constant effort, but it was always worth it. Her heart felt light, knowing that the cafe had become a space of learning, respect, and quiet strength for everyone who entered. Before going to bed, Maya reflected one last time on the events that had unfolded. The stylish woman's arrogance, the billionaire's discomfort, and the reactions of the customers had all taught valuable lessons. Maya understood that people often tested boundaries, but true influence came from the way one responded. She had chosen patience, composure, and kindness, and the results had been remarkable. The cafe was calmer, the staff happier, and the customers more respectful. The building, once just a structure, had become a symbol of dignity and harmony. As she lay down to rest, Maya felt a sense of peace. She knew that life would continue to bring challenges, but she was ready. Her experiences had taught her that respect, patience, and quiet strength could guide any situation toward a positive outcome. She closed her eyes, feeling grateful for the lessons, the people, and the opportunities that life had presented. The week had been long and sometimes difficult, but it had also been filled with growth, understanding, and meaningful connections. Maya slept peacefully, ready to face each new day with the same calm confidence and integrity that had carried her through.